Hello and welcome to the new live show for America's Best Restaurants. As we're traveling the country coast to coast to find restaurants that you should dine at on a weekly basis, we are now profiling some of the episodes, some of the cities, some of the people who we know and we've talked with throughout this great venture that we are on to find and profile America's Best Restaurants. My name is Doug Smith. I'm a part of the crew. What we're after with America's Best Restaurants is to give a voice to mostly the independent restaurants, the people, especially during COVID in the last 2 years, you can't get away from it, who need some help, some additional push, some extra notoriety, and the opportunity to tell their story. And that's what we are after, again, as we travel the country, documenting and profiling these great restaurants and these independent people and the moms and pops and the families that have really put everything on the line to not only provide great meals and great restaurants for you and your family and people to enjoy and share special memories with, but just give them an opportunity for you to be introduced to them. And that's what we are doing as we travel with our vans. We've got 2 vans right now, more coming on board. But we're with this live show to kind of give you a little deeper insight and help share these people's stories a little bit more. So one of the things that we do is we also want to profile some of the episodes that we've shot. So we have a special feature episode this week with Diversion Social Eatery. We're going to talk to Connie and Tom from Basilios Pizza. They work with us, but try to give additional insights. You don't want to hear just from us. Let's talk to people just like you, the independent restaurateur. What are they doing? What works? How have they made it through COVID? Are they doing anything different to connect with some of their customers and drive repeat visits? And are they doing anything unique marketing wise? We're also going to talk with Luis Rivera, certified legit. He's one of our crew members, to stories from the road, some of the insights, some of the things that we see, and then we'll also close things up. So as we get things going, also want to say, if you're a regular watcher of this on our early episodes, Matt Plapp, the CEO of America's Best Restaurants, is typically sitting in this seat. He's on vacation. The guy needs a break, so I'm sitting in. So that's why Matt's not here. He'll be back next week. So with the intro of who we are, what we're doing, let's get into this week's featured episode of the week. It's Diversion Social Eatery. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and I hope you're hungry.
Hey, it's Ryan with America's Best Restaurants. We're traveling the country coast to coast to find the places that you need to know about and dine at on a regular basis. Today we're in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're at Diversion, a social eatery, and Ryan, thanks for having us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell us about Diversion, a social eatery.
Well, Diversion, we've been open for 2 years now, but in 2019 in October. We do things a little different here. We oven bake everything. So your fries are baked, your steaks baked, your carnitas baked. We have gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian options. We have a full-on bar, which is kind of unique in the state of Utah and everything for a fast casual restaurant.
Gotcha.
And we get everything out hot and ready for 2 orders, so nothing's pre-cooked until it's made, until people order the food and everything.
Very cool. So where'd you come up with the name Diversion? Just curious.
Kind of my wife and I came up with ideas. Maybe my wife, she was kind of thinking of a way of a catchy name to kind of go in there.
Yeah.
So diversion means diversify. We have a little bit of diversion of everything, you know, kind of, like I said, we have gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian options. We have steak, we have pizzas, we have burgers, fries, so a little bit of all the American bistros going on there. So.
Ooh, sounds delicious. So we want to feature 3 items today, if we could. Which 3 items do we need to know about?
Well, we got to go with one of our burger bowls and everything, which would be our Western burger bowl. What a burger bowl is a regular shaped patty folder. We put the Mexican cheese, sauteed mushrooms, bacon inside the burger. That comes on a bun with this barbecue sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. We have poutine fries and everything that we won best in state for, which is just regular fries with the good old-fashioned cheese curds and beef gravy. And then we'll probably go with one of our signature pizzas, which is our buffalo chicken pizza and everything with our buffalo sauce on there, some chicken, red tomatoes, onions, and some gorgonzola cheese to top it off and everything.
Oh man, burgers, poutine, all that good stuff. All right, that all sounds amazing. Let's head inside and check out Diversion. Let's go, folks. Ryan, now we're inside Diversion, and former football player calls an audible on me on the burger. So from what we said outside, what do we actually have here?
We switched it up and everything. We went with our Gorgonzola burger, which is my personal favorite.
Okay.
It has our homemade chipotle mayo that we make in-house. As you can see, the burger's all folded up and everything. We have the Gorgonzola cheese, sauteed onions, kind of bacon inside the burger. It's just good old-fashioned lettuce and tomatoes on a good old-fashioned toasted Tuscan bun.
Right.
This is still our poutine fries and everything with the cheese curds and beef gravy on there. Then we have our buffalo chicken pizza. As you can see, we got the chicken in there. We got tomatoes, onions, and then some Gorgonzola cheese on top of there, along with the chicken. And then I threw another audible in there, so we want some flour tortillas with our carnitas on there, and then our homemade green salsa.
Homemade green salsa.
So we also make the pico in-house, the cabbage in-house as well, and then we cook these carnitas today, actually.
Awesome. And so the concept of the menu, I know you worked in the restaurant industry as a whole for quite a long time. So did you kind of pull from that, or did you have like your own personal ideas that you wanted to put together here?
It's a little bit of my wife's ideas. A lot of them come from her and stuff, like going to just traveling a lot and going to other places, you know, like in Canada. I fell in love with their poutine, so I kind of brought that back, you know, been in the Midwest, or when I've been in Vegas, or definitely Colorado, when I'm kind of out different restaurants, different experiences, I've kind of took what I liked and kind of just merged it all together, what I wanted.
Yeah.
And everything. So
well, and also the atmosphere in here too, we got to talk about, because you guys completely took a building that was being unused basically, right, and turned it into such a beautiful, welcoming environment.
Again, I'll thank my wife for that. I took care of the kitchen design, everything out there. She picked out the paint. She bought all the pictures that you see up here. She picked out the music. She made the signs on that. The benches are all made. So this is pretty much her baby out here, where she kind of came out to make it warm and inclusive, inviting for everyone.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about when you started this just a couple years ago to what was the vision like, and what's the vision going forward for you guys with your restaurant?
Our vision still is to be an all-inclusive restaurant. We want something for a little bit of everybody and everything. When we thought about opening a restaurant, we wanted to we made a menu that we like to eat and what our friends and everything like to eat. Plus, we also like going out to eat where we could actually get a stiff drink or a cocktail, not just beer or wine, something else with a shot. And also we wanted to switch it up a little bit, do a little counter search so you pay for everything. In case you have date night, you want to go to a movie, or you have kids like we do. Once they're done, trying to get that check.
Yeah.
And everything takes a minute, kind of go in there, they get it. It's nothing they're doing wrong. It's just once your kids are done, it's like, okay, everyone's done eating, let's go, what's out, because everything's paid for. So we kind of opened up a restaurant in that fashion, somewhere we wanted to be, and we knew a lot of people that were kind of in that way as well.
Yeah, very cool. So, here in Salt Lake, cool location, and just a unique, concept that you put together here. Kind of talk a little bit about just like the restaurant scene as a whole in Salt Lake, because I know that's kind of been emerging and changing the last couple of years. What's that been like for you?
It's been well. We've had a lot of support this last 2 years, especially with everything that's kind of going on. The Rose Park neighborhood, it's just to the left of me on the west side and everything. They've been really supportive. And I also have the people out on Capitol Hill that come down and kind of do more of the events, the big parties, and kind of go on the catering orders and everything like that. So, but the Salt Lake, I always say the Salt Lake food scene is stronger than most people get, because we have there's a lot of diversity in Utah. There's a lot of diversity around the Salt Lake City area. So we have a lot of other mixed concepts around here and everything like that. So it's actually a lot stronger and more independent restaurants here than most people give credit for, until they come to Salt Lake and they realize, wow, there's small little independent restaurants everywhere here.
Well, that's what we're doing here at America's Best Restaurants, finding the best independently owned, operated restaurants that you need to be eating at on a weekly basis. We found one here in Salt Lake City, and where can more people find out about you? Online, etc.?
Oh yeah, we diversioneatery.com is our website. We're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We advertise on the radio, or you can just come good old-fashioned phone call, 801-657-7326 to give us a call, or drive on down here at 535 North, 300 West in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're in the heart of the Marmalade District that is growing and changing throughout every week.
I love it. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm going to dive into this poutine. We'll catch you on the next episode. See you later.
All right, nice. So we go from Salt Lake City to another place, which is typically kind of cold, up in Minnesota. We've got Tom and Connie with Basilios Pizza. Let's talk about successes served. Tom, give a quick
Yes.
background on Basilios Pizza. Give the quick history of the location and you and Connie.
Okay, so I've owned, and Basilios has been open since 1960. So we've got a strong history here, and Connie and I have operated it, like say, actually, and we're in Faribault, downtown Faribault, Minnesota.
Perfect. Now, obviously, one of the biggest things over the last 2 years in the restaurant industry as a whole, COVID. As an independent operator, not having the corporate structure and people to say, hey, we're going to hear and help. How did you two adjust? What kind of adjustments did you have to make? And are you continuing to make? Because your business overall seems to be doing pretty well.
We've been pretty through COVID. It hit our second year in business, and we've been nothing but up and up month after month. So yes, it affects everything as far as pricing and availability, but our business wise and our business model has just been keeping up. That's all we can do.
Is there anything that you guys changed, or the key word was pivot? Was there anything that when COVID hit full blast that you guys had to change that made a difference in the overall success?
Yeah, we did pivot. Kind of can talk about that. We kind of did some thank yous for people that would go out and about and come into the restaurant.
So I think probably the two things that we had to change the most is that, so our waitresses, of course, there was no dine-in available. So the waitresses needed to transfer into different positions. And so that meant answering phones, because now all the orders are coming in through phone, or being a runner to take food to cars. So our street out front was lined with cars, and we had a little system set up with which car to where to take the food. They'd still come inside to pay on the most part, unless they requested us to come out. But we still did inside to pay, but we ran out to the cars with the food. The other part we did, Tom kind of touched on there, was a unique piece that we did was we did a thank you. So when they picked up their food, they got a little container of a dessert, and we opted to go with a dessert that we served in-house. We do an apple or a cherry dessert pizza. We just put a slice inside a to-go container, and we wrote a personal note on each one. It would have been quicker and easier to just quickly put those through a computer and print them off and tape them on. But we opted to handwrite each and every one of those thank you notes, which my waitresses helped with it. It was signed from Tom and Connie, but we put those out as a personal thank you note. We've heard lots of people comment back on those since.
I was going to say that is unique, and I was going to ask you what kind of feedback have you had, and have you seen a sale of desserts go up because people sampled it and now they're like, I got to have that?
Absolutely. Yep. The desserts, that they didn't know we had apple or cherry. I mean, not everybody looks for dessert in a pizza place or whatever. I mean, it was an item they didn't necessarily know we had, but they got a chance to sample it. They never really knew if they were getting apple or cherry. It was a continuous back and forth on them. But yeah, the sales went up on it, and I think more so we just showed our appreciation, and that we saw back and feedback over and over. Thank you for the free dessert, or just being excited they got something free. And on our side, it didn't cost a whole lot to do.
Well, that's an interesting side point. And again, you guys work with us on our marketing side as well. But one of the pushbacks that we get from the marketing side, or even when we're visiting with America's Best Restaurants, and we always drop advice. We're trying as much as we can to help coach people. You two are some of the most coachable people that we work with. But what would you say to a restaurateur that says, yeah, I'm not giving anything away. That's going to cost me $2. And they're not looking at the long-term vision. You guys just have this success story here. What would you say to another independent restaurateur who's thinking, yeah, no, I can't afford to give away something, even if it's small? What would you say to them about that?
Let Tom talk about that. And with that, it's just another one that we did just recently that really has brought in a lot of new customers in addition, to others. So Tom can talk about the finances. He does more of that.
Yeah, so for a night, what we did is I had our local fire department, city police department, county sheriffs, our emergency room, And then also the ambulance service, we gave them $15 gift certificate vouchers to the restaurant that they can use whenever they wanted to. And it was over 200 certificates. We just went to the police captain and the captain of each, or captain or commander, whoever's in charge of each division, and asked how many people you have on your force, and just dropped them off and said, thank you, appreciate your service.
And by doing
And
that,
go ahead.
$15, yes, but only in a rare occasion has that ticket ever been a $15 ticket. It's, a $30, $50 ticket. And then on top of that, some of those were customers that had not ate here before. And so now they learned about us, and we're seeing them as repeat customers at this point.
Yep. So you give a little and
nope, you're right. And I love hearing it come from you, because if we say it, people can kind of go, okay, yeah, whatever, but it's coming from an equal. The other part is that really ingrains you with the community. You guys are really big in being a part of the community. You're local, and that helps just extend that olive branch. And it's something that it's not just an immediate return. It's something that people feel gracious for long term. And it's not just about the business, it's feeling a part of the overall community. I would imagine you're getting that kind of sense back as well.
yes, absolutely.
Now, the other thing is you guys are coachable, and working with us, just kind of a quick thing of, as you've been working with us, what are some of the things that you have taken away that maybe we have helped you with, per se, that someone again's watching this, and we always try to offer advice, but is there anything specific that we've either suggested or done that maybe sticks out with you as something that's really helped your business?
One thing I was told just as I was venturing into this restaurant was, biggest thing is to know what you know and know what you don't know. I know pizza, I know the restaurant. I don't know marketing. I hire a crew just like you guys that know your field, and you guys have done outstanding for us.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate it. We love working with you guys. And the fact that when we go to your Facebook page and there's Santa Claus sitting outside, or you're doing videos with Santa Claus, it's like they get it. So, and in fact, that was a really good Santa Claus, by the way. So
He was actually a customer during the COVID shutdowns that I was taking food to his car. And I was just like, hey, you would be a great Santa. He had became a regular customer. And he said he never does volunteer. He said, I think I would like that. And that's how we brought him on.
you guys are the perfect example of the independent restaurant doing it right. So congratulations. Look forward to a lot more success. Hope things keep going. And if someone's watching this as an independent restaurateur and they go, okay, I like what Tom and Connie were saying, maybe I want to pick their brain. Is it cool if we connect people with you to say, here's two people who are doing it right. If you want some ideas and suggestions, we'll connect you with them. So it's like Restaurants Connecting Mastermind. Would you be cool with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep.
Sounds good. Cool. Tom and Connie with Basilios Pizza, thank you so much. Happy New Year. And we certainly appreciate you guys taking the time to come on.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Doug.
you.
Excellent. Cool. All right. So I tell you what, we do have some upcoming episodes of America's Best Restaurants. We're going to give you a little tease about that right here. I don't know about you, Luis, but watching all that and it's dinner time, I want to eat.
You're preaching to the choir.
Man, I
Definitely.
tell you what. So you know what? This is the epitome of the ad lib portion of this, because normally what we do is certified legit is we talk to someone, a restaurant owner operator that we have visited with on the road, and we talk about
Yeah.
their episode. And there's one thing I think you and I, we're two of the hosts, as we've traveled all over, we have come across is expect the unexpected. And in the restaurant space right now, we have been in a city an hour before we're supposed to do a shoot, and someone says, I'm short staffed. I didn't get this. I've got this. That happened here tonight. We were supposed to have
Yeah.
you talking with somebody, and it happened. So I think that's really a valid point for us to talk about. What things have you seen when you're in the van traveling that these restaurant people just, it just happens, and people don't understand, common folks, if you want to call them, that go to restaurants, don't understand what these people are going through on a daily basis. And there's so many stories that I try to tell people and they go, wow, really? I go, yeah, you have no clue. What are some of the things that you've seen while you've been on the road that these restaurant owner operators are dealing with, the unexpected, like what just happened here tonight? Short
Oh,
staffed, he can't make it.
oh, absolutely. We've seen everything from the whole short staffing. We've seen, hey, we didn't get our delivery of meat today or chicken or whatever that might be, which is going to affect the number of dishes that you can serve and the people that you can serve. Or like, oh my god, I didn't know that the meat price was so high. Like it'll change on a weekly basis and it can go astronomical, which is going to affect your bottom line. You even had an incident that while you were shooting an episode, the police had to come to the restaurant. So
Yeah.
we've seen it all.
Yeah, that was one we were shooting, and the owner, when I showed up, someone had stolen a check and he had check fraud. So he's on the call with the bank. And while we're shooting, the police are in the background. And it's like, oh my God, we got to try to help fix this. Um, yeah, I mean, it's been crazy, but you really feel for these owner operators. And that's what a lot of people don't get. And it, on a personal level, it really irritates me to go to a restaurant and see people complaining, and they're complaining to the waiter or the waitress. They don't know that that person's working 15 tables as opposed to normally working 5. They don't know that they're short staffed. They don't know anything. It's trying to get that point across that, again, I know we're talking, you and I are preaching to the choir, but what are some of the things that you tell people to get the point across of what's happening right now and how these people are doing great work? I mean, they're making miracles in the kitchen, and people don't understand everything that's going on.
Well, what I try to convey is when I'm doing the episodes, at least the story of the owner or the person who I have on video, and making people understand who are watching that this is not just a business. There's human beings behind this brand. There's real people that are going through life just like you and me, and when consumers, unfortunately they get irritated, they might go online, they leave bad reviews, they're messing with somebody's livelihood. It's not just a restaurant. This is not just a nameless faceless corporation. This is a place that somebody's creating jobs for the community, and these people are just doing the best that they can. And you know what, if it takes you an extra 5 minutes to get your food, hey, it is what it is. They're trying the best they can do because there's so much shortage, there's so much unpredictability nowadays, not only with the shortage, but the also shortage of the products, the rising costs of the products. There's certain things that have to be eliminated from the menu because the price is too high. I just talked to a restaurateur a couple months ago, and he was telling me, he's like, I had to take chicken wings off the menu because nobody's going to pay $18 for 6 wings. So there's real problems, but we get to see those because we actually get to have those conversations on a weekly basis. And it irritates me like it irritates you when somebody wants to become like a keyboard warrior, and everybody gets the whole thing to complain. But you know what I would tell people is have a little bit more patience and see the human element behind that brand, because in reality you're not complaining about the brand, you're complaining about that's somebody's livelihood that you're potentially messing with.
Yeah, and we've been on shoots where the delivery truck has showed up. They're expecting 50 items to roll off and only 12 do. and they're
Yeah.
writing on a sticky note or a piece of paper to an employee to go to the grocery store. We need this, 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 this. Um, it's just crazy. And I think that because of what happened, where again, we're having to do this because someone was short staffed in the last minute, they go, I can't be on. It just helps drive that point home. And I know personally, my friends, what friends I do hang out with, they're sick of me telling them everything that goes on in the restaurant space because they don't see it. When you walk in and you get greeted and you sit down, you're not seeing the chaos on the back. It's almost like a duck out of water. You just see the calm part, which is semi-calm. You're not seeing everything going on the back.
Right. Absolutely.
So be
Absolutely.
patient, take care of these folks. Their local business is like, Tom and Connie. They're supporting the local EMT and police, and they're providing stuff. I mean, they're a vital part of the community. So any last minute quirky stories or something that just sticks out to you, like as you're driving away in a van, you're like, man, I just can't believe that happened, or that person had to deal with this.
Well, we get to see this all the time. It's the whole, oh, literally somebody just called today and they're not coming in. So now you're a person that's front of the house. And for people who don't understand terminology, those are the people who are outside of the kitchen. They greet you, the hostess, servers, that type of thing. And then all of a sudden they're like, I got to put on my chef's hat on or something, or my chef's coat, and I got to jump back in the kitchen. And now I got to start juggling. I think that the best definition of this was with a restaurateur from Lexington. His name is Rob. Shout out to Rob from DBA Kitchen. And he told me, he said, this is like juggling cats on fire, which I thought was hilarious. I wrote that in his contact notes in my phone. In the notes, I said, this is like juggling cats on fire. So I would always remember. And that's really what it is, because it's unpredictable every day.
No, it is. And that's why part of, a big reason why doing this show here, yes, we're doing America's Best Restaurants, we're traveling, we're showing the episodes, but to be able to help profile and talk to the people that are on the front lines, Tom and Connie and other restaurant owners, and then talking to people who we have visited, because we can talk about it till we're blue in the face. But when you're hearing it straight from the people who are living it, that really brings it to life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Luis, thank you, sir. Certified legit. Happy New Year. And I will see you in just a couple days.
Yes. To you. Happy New Year to you too. And see you in a couple days.
Thank you, sir. All right. So there we go. All right. So we're going to see you next week with another episode. We'll talk to other restaurateurs, other America's Best Restaurants that we have visited, as well as team members to help provide you some additional insight into what we're doing with America's Best Restaurants. As we're traveling the country, coast to coast, find restaurants that you should dine at on a weekly basis. Hey, be sure to follow us if you like the episode, you want more as we pass along some additional knowledge, then you can follow us. You can see up on the screen, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Follow us, subscribe to the channel, and you will get more updates and more information as we are profiling those independent restaurants around the country that we all love, that we love the food, and we love what they do for the community. These people are busting their butts in a very difficult time. And even when it wasn't a difficult time, they're still busting their butts. It's just harder now. So we want to profile those folks as well. And if you are looking at us and go, hey, you know what? I love the color orange. I like traveling around in a van. I love food. I want to be a part of what these guys are doing. You know what? There's always opportunities. We are growing in leaps and bounds. So there's an opportunity that you can go to americasbestrestaurants.com/jobs. We are hiring. We would love to hear from you if you would love to be a part of our ever-growing team and have some fun and meet great people like Tom and Connie and everyone else. So tune in next week, every Thursday, 5 o'clock. We're going live, give or take a few minutes, and we're going to be doing this. So we hope to see you next week. Have yourself a happy new year. Thank you so much. And we're going to talk to you again in January. Take care. Thanks.